good throw right there. Come on up here and join us. Have a little seat.
Not bad for a lefty.
There we go.
How y'all doing, Bristol? Y'all haven't drank enough. You gotta turn it up a little louder than that. Come on, how y'all doing?
We're having such fun here. The weather's clearing out. We're going to have a great race tonight, but we got a great show right here. Thank you all so much for joining us. We really appreciate
thanks
it.
for having me. Thanks for allowing us to bring our eyes in the sky down here for once. Him and the spotter union, they get to hang up there in the nice suites during the day, and I don't know what they do up there. I'm just here for the race, but
I don't know. I've been up there with them, and they look like they're sweating a lot out there in the sun.
They do.
And Billy, this is your first time on NASCAR Trackside Live. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
So we wanted to start out by talking a little bit about what happened at Michigan, and we talked a little bit about how hard that hit was. I know I heard from you that it was a really one of the hardest ones that you had, but that's a tough situation for a spotter. Thankfully, everybody was okay and turned out, but I just want to hear from your personal perspective for these fans. Talk through that a little bit for us, because that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it all happened pretty quick. We had a decent restart, and we were running 2 and 3 wide for a couple laps there. And after the fact, I had heard that a couple drivers had seen some debris, but before that, and Michigan's such a big track and so wide, the debris to me looks like this, so I can only imagine what it may have looked like to him or anybody in the tower. You couldn't even see it. Yeah, and at that vantage point, you can't see anything. And the lap before, I was on the outside of someone, so I would have never seen it to begin with. So we're so focused. He has to look ahead. I have to look ahead and look at myself. So we're not really looking, right off the nose. And coming down the backstretch, I was too wide with somebody, and I saw it. I'm like, God, please be a glove. Don't be something hard. And it was definitely not a glove. It hit like a bazooka through the front of the car. It was the concussion. If you see the replay again, you can almost see the concussion come through the whole car just by hitting the battery. And thank God it was a battery and it exploded. It didn't stay together. If it was a piece of lead or a piece of tungsten, it would have gone through the car like a bullet, and who knows what would have happened. So at 200 miles an hour, that's just a crazy, crazy thing to happen. It goes through the car, it hits. I still have all my parts of my body still connected. The next thing is I'm trying to get the car to stop. I'm hitting the brakes, no brakes. Turning the wheel, it's not turning. I got oil all over the tires. At that point, it's the longest 0.2 of a second I've ever had in my life of just like, yep, this is gonna hurt. And you just grip the wheel and you just hang on tight. I don't know if anybody's ever played any contact sports, but it's like getting blindsided by a linebacker if you ever played football, and by about times 10 though. So that was not fun, but thanks NASCAR and the development of our sport over the years. If we would have had safer barriers, you saw the deflection of the wall and all the safety equipment inside the car and helmet. I was fine. I just was a little bit sore the next day and was able to walk away from it fine.
Well, we're glad you're okay, and thank you again for walking us through that. But scary moment for you too as a spotter to see that happen.
Yeah, like Ty said, I never saw the debris, and I just see smoke blow out both front tires, and I just think we blew up. So I think I even signed a rest, so we blew up here. And when that happens, you know that he's front tires in oil, and I see he can't turn, and I see he's trying to get it slowed down, and I'm saying hang on to it, hang on to it. I think it's a natural reaction all the spotters say. I know he's hanging on to it, but you're just trying to don't hit the wall. And so he makes contact with the wall, and the first thing I say is, are you all right? Because the first thing you want to make sure is he all right? And then you're looking for a hole to get him down, to get him to pit lane so he can get service, because there was a little fire there, and want to make sure he got out all right. But
I think after he said, "Are you all right?" my reaction was, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some air back in the lungs, but I'm all right.
So, Billy, what's it like spotting here at Bristol?
Well, everything happens really fast. The corners are real tight radius, so I know he can't see around the corner. It's obstructed by the A-post, the view, so if he's not racing anybody, I'm looking ahead. I'm looking for potential danger way ahead, because he can get in it so fast, and there's really not a lot of room left or right to go, so, when you can, you look far, far ahead.
I think Billy and I have worked together for a long time, since days when I was racing ARCA, so we have a great relationship. And for me, what he's so good at here, this has been one of our best tracks over my career, is he keeps ahead of me traffic, making sure you get through traffic and passing people is huge here. So if I'm not in immediate trouble, he trusts me to handle things in my immediate radius where he can kind of start calculating where I need to be for the guys in front of me. And things happen so fast here. You got to be figuring out your plan of attack for a car that you might be catching that might be a half a track ahead of you. But you got to figure out how you're going to set them up to pass, and if you don't, you're going to lose a lot of time to the guys behind you. So we get in the flow, and it's a good relationship thing that we have that has really worked here, and we've done really well, except for last night. He was spotting for another car last night, our teammate, Matt Tift, and I might have ran into him last night, so that was one time we didn't work good together. That was my fault.
Well, we talk about the relationship between driver and spotter all the time, but we've talked with several other folks that have talked about these code words you guys have, and I don't want you guys to share all your code words, but I know that TJ Majors was saying he has one that's a code word for when he needs to go to the bathroom to take a break. Do you guys have anything you want to maybe share a little bit of secret words you share with each other?
There's no secret. Under caution, I just tell him, check your mirror, I'm going downstairs. He knows what it means.
He's like, I gotta go, you got this? I gotta go, I'll be back. It's like radio silence.
Yeah, that's gotta be weird. Like somebody talking in your ear all the time and they're like, I'll be right back.
Yeah, well, I know by now. I know, like, Billy's gotta go. It's alright.
Everybody needs a break. Everybody needs a break. So Bristol Motor Speedway, the pit roads here are really interesting. Super tight, hard to see from the spotter perspective. You know, all the way across the track, entry and exit on that makes it. I don't know. There's something about Bristol that, you know, when those lights come on, tempers flare a little bit more. People are a little testier. Does that translate into the spotter and driver conversation as well? Do you guys get a little more heated?
I think so. It's this place is so physically demanding and mentally demanding. Things are happening so quick. You got to get things done quick, and our communication has to be even quicker. So sometimes it comes across as more aggression, and sometimes it is because you literally have to drive so hard here every single lap to be good, and then when you're having to compute what's inside your head come out quick, it comes out with aggression, and sometimes it's hard to clear the lines of aggression and just getting all you can get. And a place like this, under the lights, it gets faster. It just comes out quicker and more aggressive, and sometimes it's just an amped up feeling, and everybody's got adrenaline going, and he's got adrenaline going because he's going 100 miles an hour up there in his head, looking ahead, looking at me, calling, making calls, and I got to trust him, and we got to go, and he's making decisions quicker than I am. He's spitting it out before I can make the decision, which is helpful, so he's got to work twice as hard as far as decision making and tell me where to be, and it's a very fast move.